Ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt, one of the oldest civilizations in the world, has been a subject of great curiosity for everyone in both political and cultural terms. Founded around the Nile River in 3150 BC, ancient Egypt stood for approximately 3,000 years before being invaded by the Roman Empire in 30 BC and becoming a province of Rome. Let us examine ancient Egypt in more detail, which the famous ancient historian Herodotus described by saying, "The Nile River is a gift to the Egyptians." In terms of culture and geography, it is perhaps the most beautiful civilization ever established in the world. It has been determined that the first inhabitants of the ancient Egyptian region arrived here in 5000 BC. During this period, the rise in the water level of the Mediterranean Sea caused floods in the Nile River, and as a result of these floods, some small hills formed around the river, creating settlement areas. While the inhabitants of the region initially began to settle in Lower Egypt, referred to as the Nile Delta, over time, with the increase in population, the settlement areas spread as far as Upper Egypt. You may think that Lower and Upper Egypt are named oppositely according to the map. However, the reason for this is that the Nile River flows from south to north. Around 4000 BC, cities such as Hierakonpolis, Naqada, and Abydos in Upper Egypt, and Budo and Cairo in Lower Egypt began to stand out in terms of population. After a while, as humanity has always done, rivalry, friction, and eventually conflicts began between Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. Eventually, Narmer, the ruler of Upper Egypt, succeeded in uniting all of Egypt under one roof by taking control of Lower Egypt in 3100 BC. The period we have described so far is referred to as the Predynastic Period in ancient Egyptian history and covers the years between 5000 and 3100 BC. Starting from 3100 BC, the early dynastic period began in Egyptian history, and the first pharaoh of this period was Narmer, or according to some sources, Pharaoh Menes established Memphis, the first capital of ancient Egypt, thereby strengthening his control over Lower Egypt and began to control the agricultural lands of the fertile Delta region from there. Although this established dynastic system was the first step toward Egypt becoming a state, the need for external resources necessitated a more developed structure. Indeed, as the population began to grow more crowded with each passing day, Egypt's natural resources became insufficient to meet the needs of the cities. This early dynastic period, also referred to as a transition period, lasted approximately 500 years before giving way to the Old Kingdom of Egypt in 2686 BC. The Old Kingdom period covers a process of approximately 500 years and is considered the period during which Egypt began to grow stronger. The first ruler of the kingdom was Pharaoh Djoser. Djoser, the pharaoh who commissioned the construction of the first pyramid in Saqqara, connected to the city of Memphis, also became the first ruler to introduce viziers into Egyptian politics. The first representative of the office of vizier, which would assist the king in the expanding royal administration, was Imhotep. After designing the pyramid built in Saqqara, Imhotep set out on a campaign to Nubia, which lies within the borders of present-day Sudan, although he was not successful in the Nubian campaign. As a result of the expedition he organized to the Sinai Peninsula, an important region in terms of precious stones and copper mines, he annexed it to Egyptian territory. Imhotep, regarded as an architect, physician, and sage, never left Pharaoh Djoser's side throughout his reign. Although there is no definitive information about how long Djoser remained on the throne, it is estimated that his reign lasted approximately 38 years. According to estimates, after his death in 2648 BC, his son or brother Sekhemkhet ascended the throne as the new pharaoh of Egypt. During Sekhemkhet's reign, construction of a pyramid similar to the one in Saqqara was begun, but due to his early death, this construction could not be completed. Despite remaining unfinished, it became a reference for the Giza pyramids that would be built later, as it was the first pyramid constructed using large stone blocks. According to ancient historians, after Sekhemkhet's death, there is no definitive information about the pharaohs of the Third Dynasty. Sneferu became the first pharaoh of the Fourth Dynasty period, which began in 2613 BC. and he spent his reign and life dealing with pyramid constructions. The pharaoh who initiated the construction of 3 pyramids at once named Medum, the Red Pyramid, and the Ben Pyramid needed a massive workforce to complete them. When he realized that he could not supply this workforce solely from Egypt, he organized many expeditions to Nubia, ancient Libya, and the Sinai Peninsula. As a result of these expeditions, he captured 13,000 people from ancient Libya, 6,000 from Nubia, and 8,000 from the Sinai Peninsula, and used them as slaves in pyramid construction. In addition, by establishing good relations with the Kingdom of Ebla, which ruled in Syria, in order to procure timber for construction, he went down in history as the first pharaoh to trade with the outside world. After ruling for approximately 24 years, upon his death in 2589 BC, his eldest son Khufu succeeded him. Pharaoh Khufu, who would reign for 23 years, is famous not only for his despotic rule but also for the Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest pyramid of Egypt, which he had built. Another feature that distinguishes this pyramid from the others is that it was built not by slaves, but by farmers during periods when agriculture came to a halt due to the flooding of the Nile. The Great Pyramid, which was approximately 146 meters high when it was built, remained the largest structure in the world for a full 4,300 years, and this record could only be surpassed in the 19th century. Khafre, Khufu's son who ascended the throne after his death, tried to equal his father's record but was only able to have a pyramid built that was 143 meters high. After him, Khufu's grandson Menkaure, who ascended the throne, completed the Giza pyramids with the pyramid he commissioned that was 65 meters high. Economic and political reasons played a role in the fact that its dimensions were much smaller than the pyramids of his father and grandfather. These signs of weakening in the kingdom's economy were undoubtedly due to the kings entering into a competition to build pyramids. The forced labor of farmers in pyramid constructions that lasted 20 to 25 years disrupted fruit and vegetable cultivation and animal husbandry, and as a result, famine and economic problems emerged. Thus, we have explored Egypt's first journey of civilization, the gift of the Nile, and the process behind the construction of the Great Pyramids. This early period, where pharaohs, engineers, and farmers came together, was shaped in the shadow of both achievements and challenges. Our first episode ends here. In the next episodes, we will take a closer look at Egypt's golden age and the secrets behind the Great Pyramids.